Good to meet you. Come, आप आइए.
10-15 minutes.
एक सेकंड
गाना बना आपने कार्यक्रम भी किया था
तो अब
हमारी
इस
समस्या
बार टॉप 3 में लाओ और काम लेके
टॉप 1 में लाओ
काम लेके आ जाओ, मैं कर दूंगा. ठीक है, चल
नहीं सुनते थोड़ा उनसे इनको वही भेज दे बाद में कैमरा बच्ची वाली का
हाँ
ड्राइवर साहब 1 मिनट रुकिए, कैमरा मैन.
1 मिनट. How many cameras do you have?
1 in front of you, 2 behind you.
Okay, 10 minutes?
नहीं.
Then 10 minutes. I have got to make some personal. No, I have to make some personal calls. My mother's not well.
Yep. Jyoti, it's good to have you.
It's always a pleasure.
Jyoti, first time you're contesting on a BJP ticket at Lok Sabha election. Does it require changes for a politician, though you have been in public service and battling elections for 22 years now?
Generally, what you're saying is true, but not so the case for me. Because for me, the Bharatiya Janata Party has always been a part of the family. Let's not forget that my grandmother first contested on a Congress ticket way back in 1957. And then she was one of the principal founders of the
Bharatiya Janata
Sangh. And then the Janata Party, which is now today the Bharatiya Janata Party. My father, on the other hand, contested his first election in 1971 on a Jan Sangh ticket. And then in 1980 moved to the Congress. So for me, in my growing up years, the BJP has been very much a part of the family surroundings. And my father and I both, even though we were in the Congress, we had a lot of good friendships with people in the BJP always. For example, our relationship with Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, or for that matter, Arun Jaitley ji, or many other leaders like that. Is this still recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
Okay.
That's not a problem. But why not Gwalior? I'm surprised because it's like the family seat. You vote there. Although Guna is a great seat because there are very rare instances in the history of this country that the first election contested by a family member and the latest election being contested by a family member.
I've been a member of parliament from Guna for 17 years. I've had that singular honor of having represented that seat. I've had the people's blessings. And I believe that my heart and passion, even though is all over Gwalior, Chambal and Malwa, but my soul in many ways also rests here. And therefore, I'm contesting from Guna.
Okay. Does it create a great sense of somewhere? I think
also, let me tell you, I mean, whether I contest from Guna, I still have worked for the development of Gwalior, and for Morena, and for Bhind, and for Malwa. And whether my father contested from Gwalior, he still worked for Guna. So, for example, I've built the largest airport in Madhya Pradesh right now in Gwalior in 16 months, 2.5 lakh square feet. I've got an elevated road that is being built for 1,600 crores, building a new railway station for 500 crores in Gwalior. And I've done development works in Guna at the same time.
Did Mother of Scindia ji, your father, initiate some way into politics, or you were one of those very difficult to join into politics at that time?
No, not at all. I started campaigning for my father when I was 13 years old in 1984.
Okay.
And I campaigned for him in every election ever since.
Okay.
Except for 99 when I was at Stanford Business School. So I couldn't be here. So, and also the other point I'd like to make, Rahul, for us is not The goal is not politics. The goal is development, and politics is only a means to achieve that end. And therefore, his insistence on me was never about politics, but it was about whatever you do in life, you must contribute back to the region, because that's been the virasat of the family and the practice of the family. And that contribution coming back could be through social service, it could be through setting up a business. It doesn't need to be politics.
But were you keen to join politics?
I wouldn't say I was keen, no. I had graduated from Stanford. I had just got an MBA degree. I was doing a startup. And we'd already sort of hired people and looked at first round of funding. And so I was on a completely different...
A startup in a hotel room in Bombay?
Not in a hotel room. It was we actually conceived of it at Stanford. Myself, my colleague at Stanford, and one from the engineering school, and we were part of a business plan competition, which by God's grace we won, and therefore we were looking at actually turning that into a reality. And so I came back to India only in August after graduating in May, and I was looking at setting up an office in Bangalore and Mumbai. And then fate willed otherwise on the 30th of September 2001.
So were you a good student or a privileged student or both?
I don't think I was either. I was neither privileged nor was I a great student. I was a good student, nor was I a great student. But what I do try and do is I always, and this is a trait from my childhood and something taught by my parents, is I always try and put in my best and then leave the rest up to God. You must never feel that you didn't put in your best. Even after putting in your best, if you succeed, great. If you fail, at least you have that satisfaction that you did the best that you could. Now, your best was not good enough, but it was the best that you could do.
See, you're Stanford, Harvard, there is a wow factor to your CV. Now, when you go around places like what we are passing today, does it help you think about the conditions here? Or, it is like a common thing that any MP, any qualification can do what anybody can do in India?
I think a graduate degree or an undergraduate degree is not a passport to success. I think it is exponential. I think there's a huge amount of ingrainment of pedagogy and also the ways to think, the ways to explore. But success is not defined by that. There are many why politicians, there are many entrepreneurs that have not been to college or been to business school. But I do think it gives you a little bit of a if you will, a little bit of a systematic approach to doing things. And certainly I have applied a lot of my principles from business school and my work experience as a banker at Morgan Stanley to getting projects off the ground in my constituency and in the region and seeing them to fruition. A case in point for you is building the 600 crore airport in Gwalior in a record time of 16 months. I did the Shilanyas with the Home Minister on the 16th of October 2022 and did the inauguration with the Prime Minister on the 10th of March 2024. 2.5 lakh square feet built in 16 months is not an easy feat.
Something which I have not told you, on September 30th, 2001, I was down for an assignment in Kanpur. And I was one of the first to reach the area in Bhogaon in that tragic accident which claimed one of the brightest leaders in the country, Madhura Scindia ji. And it was a personal tragedy also because almost every journalist in it was a friend. I had worked with them or they were colleagues or we used to meet in field. But one interesting thing happened at that time, which is quirk of coincidence, I will say, is that Mr. Narendra Modi was attending the funeral of one of the victims of that crash, Gopal Bisht, who was a cameraman in Aaj Tak at that time, when he got a call from Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and he said that come and meet me. And then on that day, he was sent to Gujarat to take charge as the Chief Minister in October 2001. Now, you have shifted from Congress to the BJP. Do you see a difference, or you might have been used to what the BJP culture is all about because it's part of the political DNA of the family, but do you see a huge difference there, or it's similar?
There's a huge difference. We are a cadre-based party. We are a party that is extremely disciplined. We are a systems-based party. We are a party that works assiduously at the micro level in terms of gaining the trust of the people, and that pays its huge dividends. And our leaders are ones that grow from the bottom up. So, and there's a constant churn in our party. There's a constant churn, and that's all of these things that I've described to you are very important for any institution to succeed. And I'm not talking about only a political party. Any institution in the world to succeed needs these systems in place, and that's what the BJP has.
But do you think last time was it the Modi wave who defeated you alone, or was it subterfuge from your own party?
No. Look. I'm very clear on this. That when you win, you accept the garlands and the bouquets very readily and very happily. When you lose, you start pointing a finger at Rahul. And we forget that Rahul meaning you, not the other Rahul. You forget that when you point a finger at someone, the three fingers are pointing towards you. I wouldn't want to put the blame fairly and squarely on X or Y or Z. The blame fairly and squarely lies on me. If I was the candidate 4 times and I won, and I was the candidate this time and I lost, who is to blame? It's my failing. And I think it's important in life never to shirk blame. Take it fairly and squarely on your chest.
If you're saying that it is you, if you're saying it is
and
you,
try and improve.
What changes? And if I ask you 2 changes that you have made in your campaigning, in your outreach?
See, again, Rahul, this is the point. The Scindia family has never been about campaigning and outreach. The Scindia family has been about a continuum in terms of a relationship with the people. You can't just turn up on election time and say, I've changed. Or this is me. Oh, hello, I'm seeing you after 5 years. It doesn't work like that.
So you mean to say that you have done something for the last 5 years?
In any relationship, it doesn't work like that. You have to invest in a relationship. You have to constantly invigorate a relationship. That's how a relationship stays alive. Even though I was not an MP of this area, I not only regularly visited, I've always been here in times of need, whether it was Corona, whether it was Ola Vrishti, whether it was floods, whether it was the hailstorm recently a month and a half ago. I've contributed to the development of this area even though I was not the MP, whether it was roads, whether it was rail connections. Just before 2 months ago, I've given 6 new rail connections here.
Okay.
About 4 months ago, I've given a new university in Guna, Tatya Tope University, which has been announced by the Chief Minister. So that relationship has to be a continuum. It cannot be on, off, on, off. No relationship works like that in life.
See, these charges, this Maharaja, Hukum, your father also faced it, but we remember that there are changes in the railways which Madhavrao Scindia ji brought, which the nation is reaping the fruits today. Would you like to elaborate on the changes that, the introductions that Madhavrao Scindia ji did when it came to railways?
He completely transformed it. It was an organization that was very inward looking. He first of all made it very outward looking. Looked at what the world was doing in the area of railways and incorporated here. For example, let me tell you the story of the Shatabdi. How did the Shatabdi come around? The one thing that my father did, which I forever thank him for, is that he always took me along with him in all his international tours. He paid for my ticket, paid for my hotel.
Yes, he used to tell us that he pays for your stay and flight.
Yeah, everything. And that gave me great exposure. So I was with him when we went on the Shinkansen in Osaka. I was with him when we went on the TGV in Paris, in France. And that's where he got those concepts from. that you need to have a point-to-point fast train that will take ferry people from one point to the other without too many stops at a high speed. And that's how the Shatabdi was born. The trolley train, the Shatabdi, he took that idea
The food trolley.
He took that idea from aircrafts, and he told a group of IIT kids that come up with an idea where a trolley can turn around inside inside the rail wagon, rail cabin, and that's how the concept of that trolley came around. Then the whole concept of in the railways earlier, food used to be all served from dishes and bowls, and dal and everything, and this concept of your packed meals, that too he took from civil aviation and from the TGV. So he brought about those concepts in India, and most importantly using the concept of information technology and computerizing the whole ticket reservation system. That completely changed the paradigm. That's the second thing. The third is the punctuality issue. Ensuring that trains run on time, which Indian trains never ran on time. And if there was a more than a 7 to 8 minute delay, then that had to be reported to the minister and the reason why. So he was very much a political technocrat. He was a grassroots politician, but a technocrat in terms of running his ministry. And the same in civil aviation. For the first time, we got a private sector person in to handle Air India in the form of IC Deveshwar. From an airline that was making losses, it made 1 crore profit a day, which in the 90s was a hell of a lot of money. And so therefore, he had that ability to turn things around, to bring about new systems.
You did similar work in the postal department, the reforms in the postal department. It was again a very moribund kind of a structure.
Yeah.
But then doesn't it hurt you when, despite family doing so much of work, that people stand up and call you Maharaj Ji? Priyanka Gandhi is somebody who you have worked very closely.
I'm very proud of my legacy.
Okay.
My legacy of my family is not of being a ruler. The legacy of my family, if you actually read about the Scindia family, is about perseverance, hard work. We started as Patils of Kanerkhed, which is a small village in Satara district. We were headmen of a village, Sarpanch of a village. That's where the Scindia family started from. And so, I mean, if you talk about entrepreneurship, that's a great story of entrepreneurship for you. From there, defended the country throughout our history. Scores of Scindia family members have sacrificed their lives to maintain the ekta and akhindata of the nation.
16 of them beheaded in the third Panipat battle.
Exactly.
By Ahmad Shah Abdali.
15 and only one survived, which was Haji Maharaj with his leg cut off. And a person with his leg cut off on the 14th of January 1761 lost 15 of his brothers in battle, rose from that battlefield and said, I will take revenge on Ahmad Shah Abdali, raised an army, pursued him all the way out of India, and for the first time in the history of India, planted Shivaji Maharaj's Bhagwa Nishani flag on Lal Killa of Delhi. 1771, and ruled Delhi till 1803. And his story has not been told in Indian history.
But then to be called, and your family brought into the same thing, called a Gaddar.
Those who don't read history and are ignorant of it and look at notes to make speeches will do that.
But is that vicious? Why did they get so vicious? You see,
that's a question you need to ask them, not me.
You see, one question which I'll ask is that, two questions. That one, why did you leave the Congress? And second, why did you get so vicious?
I don't want to get into my past. My past is my past. I want to talk about my present and my future. My past is now 5 years ago.
When you had left, you had said कि सम्मान की बात थी. Do you think you were disrespected? Was there disrespect brought to you?
If someone tells you "Sadak pe aa jao," what does that mean?
Who was that?
I don't think you followed the interviews then.
No, I followed the interviews, but is there some kind of a grace that you want to maintain by not naming people?
No, Mr. Kamal Nath, I'm telling you.
Okay.
I mean, it was all over the press.
Yes. But do you think that the Madhya Pradesh lobby squeezed leaders like you out, and the High Command kept silent. After all, you were the man that Rahul Gandhi winked at in Parliament.
Again, Rahul, I don't want to get into my past. My past is my past. Congress is my past. My present and my future, I'd love to talk about it.
Manmohan Singh and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, differences. You were a government, inward in that government.
Oh, completely different. Someone who is focused on execution, focused on delivery, focused on welfare, focused on taking the country forward, not every day, every second. He is a man on a mission. Prime Minister Modi is a man on a mission. Every second for him counts. It's not 24/7.
Is it a tough
It's
taskmaster?
24/7 by 60.
Tough man to be in a ministry with?
Taskmaster. Very tough taskmaster, and that's what it should be. Because that's how you get results.
Were you
don't
also
get
being
results
squeezed
anywhere.
out because you spoke up on issues like 370, Article 370 in Congress working committee meetings?
I always spoke up. I've always spoken up on issues that I have believed in. I believe in truth, and that's why I've always spoken up on those issues.
Are you totally entrenched in BJP now?
Oh, completely.
Settled?
Completely.
That
Thank you so
outsider
much.
thing is gone?
Oh, I'm not an outsider. I'm an insider. I always have been. 15 minutes ho gaya, bhai. We started at 11:15.
Please,
No, I can't, Rahul. My mother is critical here. Please understand here.
Okay.
Jyoti, it's been a pleasure to speaking to you, and we wish you luck.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.